Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. I hope everybody can see my screen okay. You should be able to see it. Occasionally I forget to share. But want to welcome you to Workshop Wednesday on this fine Wednesday of February. It's a beautiful day, and it's time for us to do some more learning in the Agile FleetCommander system. I just want to remind you that, we're here for you, so please make sure you participate and feel free to ask questions and so forth. So today we're going to go back to basics on a few things, and we are going to talk about mastering the Manage Fleet and QwikPik features in FleetCommander. So we're going to discover streamlined methods for faster, more efficient management of your fleet. We're going to learn how to reserve vehicles using QwikPik, alter vehicle assignments with Manage Fleet, utilize QwikPik directly from a vehicle's profile, understand how reservations are affected in Manage Fleet, and more. So I'm really looking forward to having you all with me today, and we're going to learn some great stuff. Just a reminder, before we begin and get our engines going to learn here, Workshop Wednesday is Agile's monthly FleetCommander Knowledge series. The webinars are always held on the third Wednesday of the month from 2 to 3 Eastern Time. So mark your calendar for next month right now. Your feedback is always needed to identify topics for monthly webinars. And please tell us what you're interested in by scanning the QR code with your smartphone at the end of today's meeting, letting us know how I did for you today and what we can do to improve things for you in the future. This webinar is being recorded, and a recording and copy of the slides will be available for download via the SharePoint tomorrow. And your mic is going to be muted during the webinar, but that's why I need you to use the chat box. So speaking of the chat box, please ask questions. I'm here to help and your team be more successful with Fleet than you already are. If you have any questions, most likely somebody else has that same question. So please make sure that you ask the question in the chat. So you will click to show the chat conversation, and then you will type your question. And when you do that, if you wouldn't mind telling me your first name and the name of your organization, that would be fantastic. That just helps me to know who I'm talking to during the presentation. And today I have Miss Anna Shea from Agile FleetCommander with us as well. And she is assisting me by monitoring the chat with me and doing the recording and so forth. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So again, here's our agenda for the day. Just to let you know, there's more than one way. If you haven't seen that already, there's more than one way to do things in the FleetCommander system. So I'm going to show you tips and tricks as to how to make it easier. We're going to reserve some vehicles via QwikPik. We are going to review reservations on the chart display in the Manage Vehicle section. We're going to use some QwikPik functionality directly from the vehicle interface. We're going to do some altering of vehicle assignments with the Manage Fleet function. We are going to vehicle profile reservation time savers. We're going to go over those. We're going to talk about the client success portal that you may or may not have heard of, but hopefully you have. If not, you're going to hear about it today and learn more. And then we're going to do a recap. And of course, we're going to end with different tools that we have for your Fleet toolbox and the QR code for you to tell me how we did today and what we can do in the future to help make it even better for you. So let's get started. There is more than one way, folks. There's more than one way to do things, as many people have already realized. If you are new to FleetCommander, you will soon realize this if you haven't already. There's just so many different functions in the system, and people learn differently and like to use certain methods, and that's okay. But what I'm here to do is help you find other methods as well that you might like better and that might be more efficient for you. So you're going to find there's more than one way, and that's okay. And we're going to help you find the way that you like to do things best and easiest. So with that more than one way, we're going to take just a quick look here at how you can pull up a reservation, for example, and how there's more than one way to do that. A lot of people, when they sign on to Agile Fleet Commander each day, they're going to be in their dashboard. The dashboard is really where the main functionality of a shared fleet is. You're going to be in that dashboard day in, day out. You're going to see what people, users are that need approval. You're going to see what reservations need approval. You're going to see if there's any changes, late pickups, and so forth. And this is like the hub of your communication screen, like that main screen on your phone. This is the hub for everything that you do. So with that hub, there's a lot of reservations, right? So sharing vehicles and managing reservations is one of the key functions you're doing every day. So with that, how do you get to reservations if you need to make a change and so forth? So the first way in this example is from your dashboard. If you hover over any of your reservations, anything light blue is clickable. So in this example, to get to the reservation screen, you would hover over your vehicles departing and click on reservation, and that will take you immediately to your reservation screen. But wait, some people don't like to use the dashboard. Some people like to use the manage fields, which that's totally okay and acceptable. So if you're one of those people that know the reservation number that you want to go to, you can very easily just go to Manage, Reservations, put your reservation number in, and click View. Okay, so it looks like, can anyone tell me in the screen here, it sounds like we're having some video issues. Can anyone see the manage reservation screen that I'm on? Can you please let us know in the chat? Because Anna is still seeing my original screen.
It just switched over for me.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure because we're having some trouble with Teams. Teams has some new stuff today and so forth. So thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, great. Shauna can see it too. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know, Anna, and thank you to the rest of you for letting us know you can see it, okay? Wonderful. So this is where we go then. If you know that reservation number and you feel more comfortable and you like drop downs, more power to you. That is not a problem whatsoever. So you can go to Manage, Reservations, put in your reservation confirmation number and click View, and you will be in the reservation. Lickety split. But wait, there's always those commercials, right? But wait, there's more. So on this one, there's yet another way you can get to your manage reservations. And again, I'm not trying to show you different ways to confuse you. I'm trying to show you different ways to let you know that it's okay that you have your own method. And from what I show you, I want you to find your method that works best. So if you want, you can also go into manage reservations and do a bigger report, say all pending or all approved, and you can click on the magnifying glass next to the reservation that you want to go into. Or you can also click on the reservation number over on the same area. So multiple ways to do it. And finally, for you dashboard users, you can also go up to what's called Quick Find and enter your reservation number here, and you can go directly to the reservation. So, as you can see again, there's many ways to get to the same thing, but I'm here to show you those different ways so you can find your easy button, because Agile Fleet Commander is not hard. You just got to think through and decide what is the easiest way for you. And anytime you want to talk about it, you just let me know. But today's goals are we are going to look at ways for shortcuts, and those are always helpful. And we're going to go help you find that easy button, okay? So, some areas that people don't use very often or don't realize that they can even use is called QwikPik. You can easily find what's called Quick Find, which leads us to QwikPiks, at the top of your main dispatch dashboard. So when you look in Quick Find, and these are really for users who know their system. So like I have been in my fleet for 18 years. I had a lot of the license plate numbers memorized. I had a lot of the people memorized and so forth. So Quick Find was my friend, because no matter what category, if I knew the asset name, the key tag, if I knew the reservation number, if I knew the user, if I knew the work order number, this is a fast way to get to any of those things. So if you know the information, such as your reservation number, you can go ahead and fill that in under this Quick Find All Values. And when you do that, you will then, it'll pull up whatever reservation you're wanting to pull up, or whatever vehicle you're wanting to pull up, and you will click Go. When that happens, so in this example, I pulled up vehicle 3325 and I hit Go. When that happens, it pulls up this screen, which has a lot of shortcuts for you to do things with your different vehicles. So, for example, we can look at a lot of different things here. This particular vehicle, we can do a QwikPik, which we're going to do in a little bit, which is going to make a reservation immediately to this specific vehicle. Oftentimes when people go into the other ways of doing reservations, you make the reservation, then you have to find the particular vehicle you want or let it auto assign. This is helpful when you know exactly what vehicle you want to assign. So if you need to make a maintenance reservation because something has a flat tire, you could go in and say 3325 has a flat tire. I can put that in, click Go, and it is going to allow me to go into QwikPik and make a reservation specifically for this vehicle without having to search for the proper vehicle in a drop-down menu by making a reservation the regular way. Other information that you can see on this screen also says that there's one reservation that is on the schedule for this particular vehicle to be dispatched out. There's 2 reservations to be dispatched in. Now, normally, just to let you know, that would be a red flag. If I were the dispatcher, I'd be, why are there 2 needing to be checked in? Because you should be staying on top of that, and you should only be checking out if you've checked in the previous reservation. Now, this is looking this way because I'm in a test environment and I was doing multiple reservations on the same day. So that is why it's there. Typically, you're going to have 1 to dispatch in and more future reservations to dispatch out. This will also tell you if there's anything due for inspection, if you're using that, or prep, if you're using prep. It will tell you if you need to go out there and perform the prep. It will also let you edit the vehicle and update the vehicle. But the main shortcut here that we're going to talk about is making the reservation. So with that, once we get into the vehicle screen here, we're going to go ahead and touch QwikPik. So when we do QwikPik, it's going to immediately bring up the reservation information for us. So let's take a more detailed look at that. So here is the reservation information that immediately pops up when you do QwikPik. So it already has your information and as much information as it can. It's already assigned to the vehicle. You can fill in the driver that you want. You can put whatever time and date that you want, and you choose whatever appropriate options. So if destination and purpose are both required, you would still need to fill that in. But if only one's required, that is all you'd have to do. So fill in whatever appropriate information you need for your reservation. And at the end, after you filled it out, you simply hit submit, or I'm sorry, next, continue request. And when you do that, it then takes you immediately to the dispatch screen. So you don't have to go back in and come back into it a second time. It takes you immediately to this dispatch screen. You can see that it's dispatching out at a certain date and time, and that should be accurate. If not, you can make adjustments based on the calendar or the R. And just to let you know what the difference is here. Some people have never been explained what the difference is between the little calendar versus R. If you put in R, it will automatically fill in your date in and date out with the originally scheduled time of the reservation. This is extremely helpful if you have reservations for a weekend and you don't have a kiosk. So you're getting multiple keys back over the weekend and you come back on Monday, but the vehicles might have been returned on Saturday or Sunday. When you're checking those back in, you can just hit the R and it will default to whatever the reservation date and time information was on the original information. Now, the most accurate information, if they're coming in live and handing you the keys or using the kiosk, would be to do the clock. The clock is right here, right now, when you're on that screen. So that's the difference between the clocks and the R's. If you ever have any further questions on that, please feel free to let me know. So again, this dispatch screen popped up immediately. It automatically filled in the date and time, and we're gonna go ahead and click submit, and our reservation is done and checked out that quickly. Wonderful. So that's the first one. So that's how to do a QwikPik. Now we're going to go to some of my favorite screens just because they're colorful and I'm a very visual person. So with the visuals, I like to go to manage vehicles. Okay, so we're going to talk about viewing reservations on the manage vehicle area. So if you go into manage vehicles, you are going to see the chart that has green meaning vehicles are available, red meaning there's a reservation, and then all of these others we'll go into in a little bit greater detail for the different statuses after a bit. But this is a visual saying, okay, if I needed another vehicle, I could move this reservation here up to this line here, and that would free up another vehicle, or vice versa, put this one down here. So these are where, when you really have a lot of reservations going in and out, it's very helpful to have a visual graph to see what vehicles are available. Okay, it's great to see what are available, but what do I do with that information, right? So single reservations, if you hover over the view or of the color, the red, it will go ahead and it will tell you all the information about that reservation. So it's going to tell you the confirmation number, it's going to tell you what type of rental it is, what time and date they have, and so forth. And if you want to click to view it, you would be able to click and view it from here. Now in this next one, 8094, this particular vehicle has multiple reservations in one day. Okay, so when I hover over this, it is telling me that there's a reservation from 9 a.m. to 11:15 and a reservation from 3 to 6 for this particular vehicle. So again, there's multiple reasons of why you might want to go in here. It could be, you're looking at one that you maybe want to take to a shop for a recall, but for some reason you want to see how many reservations are against it and stuff. You can do that here. If you give me just a second, I'm going to look in the chat because I know there's a question, so I'm going to read that real quick. So hold on here. Okay, so the R you said that is showing up. Let me go back a couple slides. Can you tell me, Shauna? Will you tell me which slide you were looking at? Do I need to go back further? Can we allow her to talk, Anna? Can we turn her intercom on, her mic on?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Thank you.
I think I'll be able to.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience as we learn this new Teams. They've been changing things a lot. If not, Shauna, you can type to me. I want to make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. Thank you, everybody, for your patience and grace, because this is how we all learn, right? So I appreciate that.
Shauna, I believe you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Okay,
yep,
this slide?
I can. So it is this slide.
Okay, this slide right here. Okay, what are you not seeing?
So on the date out, you'll have your that little icon right there.
Oh, okay, you're not seeing this?
Yeah,
the
on
R?
mine, I do not see it. So I don't know, because I remember from the conference last year that there was a new update coming up. So I don't know if it's something that we don't have that update because we're self-hosted, because you guys aren't FedRAMP approved yet. So
which we all know are, so that's good.
Yes.
Yay. That is good. Okay, so Shauna.
That'd make my life so much easier.
Yeah, because it does make it easier, especially like on a busy Monday when you had all these from the weekend or first thing every morning when you have all these vehicles that returned at night. Okay, so
that's just a quick question. It's just like, is that something that's with the new update, or is something not on my version because I don't have that?
Yeah, it was an update at one point.
Okay.
So I do think since you're self-hosted, that is probably it. I made myself a note and I will get back to you after today's presentation and we will research and find that for you, okay?
Perfect.
And is anybody else not seeing an R if you're signed in and looking? So thank you, Shauna, for bringing that, because these are exactly the things we need to figure out for you, right? Because
yeah, I know
that can be very frustrating.
Yeah, I know I'm not the only self-hosted
clients
that you guys have, but I'm going to end up training someone shortly to kind of take this over for me. So I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row.
Sounds good. Okay. So somebody else just put, I don't have that option either. And we're self-hosted. I'm self-hosted and we have the R and we are on version 508. Yeah, so we will need to.
And I'm on 510.
If you guys can put your name too, because it's not telling me your name. So whoever's coming up as you, I don't know who you are. So if you can please let me know who you are, because you're saying you don't have that option either. So I can check into that for you. And whoever is also self-hosted and you have the R and you're on version 50801 and you have it. Okay, thank you. So thank you, Scott Martin. Okay. Okay, I'm self-hosted and we have the R. Okay. Perfect. And okay, so Victor, you're the one that does not have the option, correct?
Yeah, it looks like Victor is the one who said that in the chat.
Okay, perfect. So Victor, perfect. Thank you so much. I am going to investigate that for you, okay? So thank you. Because yeah, sometimes it's just these little tweaks that we need to make to your system, and then these things should all work for you. So, all right, we will get that information out to all of you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so I think this is where we were, right? So we could view, we could hover over, and we could see multiple reservations in a day from this screen. So it may just look like a pretty picture at first when you look at it, but if you hover over your information, if you hover over these different blocks, you're going to get lots of good information, okay? So let's go on to this. So some people also might not have been taught yet, but if you look between this last screen, you'll see that this is the day view. So our block here is a little bit wider. If you click on the date above it, it will take you to the hour view, and you will see little blocks because it breaks that day up into 24 hours. So you can really see how long that vehicle's gone in a good visual, okay? So in addition to the value provided by the color-coded bars and the use of letters within the bars, you know, the reservation mouse overs give more information about the reservation as well as the availability. But with the hour view, it is really good, especially on busy weekends or busy days. Maybe the weekend isn't your busy, but maybe Mondays are your busy day. You can really move reservations around, especially if you're vehicle sharing, to make sure that you can optimize the utilization. Okay, so just remember you can mouse over. So on this particular one, we switched it to the hour view, and you can switch it either by clicking the date at the top of the screen or on the very top of the area. You can make some option choices, and there's actually a button that you can click hour view or day view. So you can look at that and be able to click back and forth very easily. Okay, so when you mouse over, again, you're going to get that good detailed information that you want. All right, so now let's use our QwikPik functionality directly from this vehicle interface. So we've hovered over, we can see kind of what's already out there, right? But what can we do in this part too, besides just reviewing information that we have? So this is where I want to go a little further in depth to what all these different things mean. So you see a P in blue, you see an LR, you see an LP, and so forth. You know, what does that mean to you in your fleet? So here, these icons will give the administrator the current status of the vehicle's reservations. Okay, so these different statuses include inspection. So this one is returned and currently in inspection right now. If it's just a P like this, it means it's in prep. So it's waiting to get cleaned. If you see LP, late for pickup. If you see LR, it's late for return. And if you see a D, which on this screen, excuse me, on this screen, I don't have a D listed, but D means it's dispatched out. Okay, so on those inspection and prep icons, those icons also here, inspection and prep, they can also act as hyperlinks back to the respective manage inspection and manage prep information. So this page is filtered to show only records for the chosen vehicles. All right, so Now we have all this green space, okay? Because before we looked over and we hovered on our reservations and we saw what all was possible, what all was booked. But I want to make a reservation, right? And I want to know that I have a vehicle available for this reservation and I want to do it quickly and efficiently. What you can do is from this space, you can literally just click on the green space wherever you would like to place the reservation. So you click on that space and then up pops your reservation screen instantly. You don't have to go to manage, make reservation and any of that. It just pops in automatically and goes directly to the reservation screen. So you can then choose what type of reservation you want and click next. And when you do that, it's going to fill in the basic reservation screen. So with this, the information that you can change is you can put in a different driver if you need, if there's a driver that needs to be put in. You can change your pickup dates and times. And then you can add where you're going and the purpose. And then you would go ahead and click next. After you do that, it immediately goes to that dispatch screen again. So you can immediately dispatch this vehicle out. So it's going to fill in with your odometer miles and the parking space. It's going to fill in with your time and date that it actually is. If you need to revert back, then you would do the R. But it's going to show you actual time and date and fill that in. And then you're going to click submit. And with that, once you hit submit, you've made the reservation. So as you can see, I've now made the reservation from directly on the screen. And the reason it dropped down lower is just because I have a reservation now on it. So it filled in the screen. So any green space, you can go in and you can make a reservation right there. Okay, so now we've reviewed different reservations that were there. We've made a reservation directly from the green space. Now, how do we alter a reservation from that green space in that managed fleet? So to alter or click or to change that reservation, we're going to click the reservation from your hour view in managed fleet. So we're going to find that little reservation, say you want to change it, you're going to go ahead and click on that reservation. When you do that, you're going to see the screen pop up. The screen is going to give you two options. Are you wanting to just change the vehicle on this reservation, or are you wanting to view the entire reservation? So in this particular case, we are just going to choose change vehicle. So we're going to do change vehicle and we're going to click submit. Then a drop-down list of any vehicle that is available at this time. So it's not going to give you vehicles that aren't available. This is only going to give you vehicles that are available at that time and appear free for that time frame. Okay, so you can then choose whatever vehicle you want to change it to from the drop-down menu, and you can click submit. That easy. Then the next screen that pops up when you do that is going to be the email confirmation screen. So a lot of you send out emails every time you make a change on the reservation and when changes are approved. If you want to send an email confirmation, you will check the box. If you do not check the box, it's going to go ahead and make the change when you click change vehicle, but it is not going to send out fresh emails. It's totally up to you what you want to do about the email situation. Some people don't want all those extra vehicles or those extra emails because it just causes confusion. They just want to make sure they have a car when they get there. So you do not have to send the confirmation emails. The default is that this is not checked, but if you want to send the emails, you can check it. All right, then I want to give you a little bit of peace of mind, right? So if you're making these changes, what about user types and training and everything like that? If I'm just picking from those available vehicles, does the driver still have that type of permission? So if the driver does not have the correct permissions for the new vehicle that you chose, a warning message will be presented. So you don't have to worry about, the audit part. A warning will come up. So FleetCommander is going to check, see if the vehicle is in inspection or prep as well. So if it's in inspection or prep, it's also going to give you a warning email saying, hey, this is, in prep. Do you really want to take it? So with that, so you might be telling the customer, okay, I have another vehicle. However, it hasn't been cleaned yet. Are you still okay with that? So that would be a scenario there as to why you would want to say yes or no to that. So when the warning signs come up, if there are any, you can go ahead and answer appropriately. So yes, change the vehicle, or no, go back and you're going to get a different vehicle. Then after you change the vehicle, it's going to go ahead and it says it's been submitted. The email was sent because I chose email, and you can close the screen and you can now see where the change took place and the reservation was moved to a different vehicle. And it was that easy, and you didn't have to flip back and forth between different screens. All right. So now let's go through vehicle profile reservation time savers. So with this, on the vehicle profile reservations, you can click Manage Vehicles by clicking, you can go in there and then you can click on the magnifying glass for the vehicle that you choose. When you do that, you then can immediately dispatch the vehicle. So this is another way to get to your dispatch screen instead of going back to the home dashboard. You can immediately go to the dispatch screen from your vehicle information sheet screen. So you can go ahead and click dispatch, and it will immediately take you to your reservation. So this is where, okay, let me go back just a second. So this is a little deceptive and a little crazy as far as that term saying dispatch, right? Okay, because we're actually making a reservation from the vehicle information slide. So this is another place to make a reservation. My apologies on that. So you're going to go into the vehicle here, but then you're going to hit dispatch, and then that is going to immediately bring you to make your reservation screen. That is something that we can put a request in, then maybe that say reservation versus dispatch on that screen, because that would be a more appropriate term. But if you click the dispatch, you can instantly go in and make a reservation against this vehicle as well, this way. So again, you would choose short-term rental or whatever type of rental. You would click next. Again, you're going to put in the same information, driver, date, time. If there's a destination or a purpose, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit next, continue. Then you can dispatch the vehicle directly by hitting submit. So you do eventually get to that dispatch, but I apologize. That was a couple steps in between there because you're actually making the reservation and then dispatching it. So that was yet another way to make a reservation. So with that, there's a lot of different ways. So hopefully you find your way for the easy button. And if you ever need, or want to talk to me and say, hey, how would you do it? I like this, this, and this. I'm more than happy to talk through that with you. But one thing I would also like to point out is we do have a client success portal. A lot of people don't realize this when I'm talking to them and doing our renewals and so forth. They haven't necessarily ever accessed it. what I would like you to do is, if you would like access to this, I would like you to please, and I'm going to open it up and show you what it is in a little bit here, but I would like you to please put in the chat your name, what fleet you're from, and your email address. And I can get you signed up for the Client Success Portal through our support team if you do not have access. So what the portal is you would go to support.agilefleet.com and you would need to log in. It is behind a login, okay? With that, you will then sign in, and this is the manual for the vehicles, or for the system. So you have a fuel manual, you have a system admin manual, you have a maintenance manual, you have a parts manual. So for example, yesterday I was at Notre Dame, okay? They had a question about the technician's hourly rate, okay? That is something you don't do very often, right? So you can pull it up in the manual, you can find the right spot, and you know where to go, okay? So in this knowledge database, and there's lots of different release notes and everything, and then anything specific to your fleet will also be in here attached via your sign-on. So if you have anything specific, such as a special report or something written specifically for your fleet, that information will be in here as well. Okay, so when you open this up, the first one, the manual, is approximately 474 pages. Okay, so when you go, there's an introduction, there's, you can look in the directory to try and find, what it is that you're looking for. But really, Control F equals your best friend, right? So do a Control F and do a search for what it is you're looking for. So today we talked about QwikPik. So I did a Control F in QwikPik, and you can see that 38 different things came up for QwikPik. And so with that, I can then go immediately to those sections on QwikPik and learn more. So again, if you don't have access to this, or if you forgot how to get into this, I really would like you to place your information into the chat so we can get you signed up, so you can get in there and be able to look things up and just have a little bit of peace of mind as to where you can find things and get some answers. So if you want it, just place your name, email address, and your fleet name in the chat box, or feel free to email me directly as well at kwellik, so kwellik @agilefleet.com. Okay, so let's recap. We did a lot today. So we learned there's more than one way of doing things, right? We talked about how to reserve vehicles via QwikPik. We viewed reservations on the chart display in the manage vehicles. We used QwikPik functionality directly from the vehicle interface to make reservations. We altered vehicle reservations from that managed fleet area. We talked about different time savers and so forth in the vehicle profile reservation area. We talked about the Client Success Portal. And then, of course, we always recap, and we're going to talk about those tools for your fleet toolbox. So with that, what can we do to help you? So I am here to make you successful, and even more successful than you already are. So I'm here to be your champion and your guide and help you get the tools and mentor you to do awesome in fleet. If there's anything that you need, whether it be refresher training or just want to run an idea off, how do you set rates? How do you do different things? How do you handle electric vehicles? Like electric vehicles, when they first came in, I had those go automatically depending because I wanted to reach out to those clients and make sure they understood that they were getting an electric vehicle. Whatever it is that you have a question on, that's what I'm here for, is to help you with that. A reminder, there is agilefleet.com, those online resources. There's the fleet management blog. And there's workshop Wednesdays. There's higher ed workshops that we do once a quarter. On the workshop Wednesdays, we also put everything on the YouTube channel now as well. So you will also get sent a copy or a link to the presentation today and where to find the info, but it is on our YouTube channel and previous ones are. So if there's anything you want to check out, I do recommend you go to Agile Fleet on YouTube. Our user conference. So the Command 24 conference information should be coming out very shortly. I know there were a few technicalities that just happened on the current venue that we were going to be using. So I hear new information will be coming out very soon on that. So we will keep you posted. I promise, as soon as it is finalized, we will get that information out to you as soon as possible because we want to see as many of you there as possible. Let us help tell your story, right? I'm sure all of you have a story. It might be a story of a technician that has really come from being a really quiet, shy person to being a leader in your fleet and really being able to take on new electric vehicles and stuff like that and mentoring different people. It could be that you've added a bunch of electric vehicles to your fleet. It could be that you have a brand new building. It could be many different things, but we have a team here to help tell your story. Anna is wonderful at telling stories, and we're here to help you. If you need slides for higher ups for presentations, if you need to know how to find statistics, if you need to help tell your story, just please let us partner with you, and we are happy to do that for you. This is just a recap slide as well. You can go to fcsupport@agilefleet.com or call our phone number at the 498-7555 extension 2. That is manned 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone is US based, and you will hear friendly voices on the other end of the phone helping you through your issues. You can also email into them, and they do track every email and call, so we can watch for trends. And then also at the bottom of the slide there, you can email client success at agilefleet.com, but I also added my own email on there because that's probably the quickest way to get a hold of me. And let us help make Workshop Wednesday better for you. So what can I do to be here? I'm a servant leader to be here to make you successful. If you can take a picture with your smartphone real quick, fill that out on the QR code. We certainly hope that you can, grade us at least a 9 or a 10, that you would refer us to a friend or colleague. But we also want to know, what can we do better? If there's a certain topic, if there's a certain question that's looming out there that you really need help with, here to help. So please let us know what we can do. And the best way for us to find out is actually email me or fill that out. And that's very helpful for me in planning for future Workshop Wednesdays and for quarterly events as well. So I'll give you a minute to put that up there. Does anybody else have any other questions? I will follow up. Scott, thank you. You would like access to the manual. I will get that sent. Did anybody else have any questions? We do have about 10 minutes left. So I was teasing at Notre Dame yesterday when they were all there asking me questions. It's like, okay, you got 10 minutes left to stump the teacher here. But remember, I learn every day too. If I don't know the answer, I'm gonna ask somebody for you so I get you the right answer. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Okay, Victor, thank you. We will get you access to the manual as well. And I will copy you on the email when I request your access, and then you will get an email back from support, and they will show you how to log in and everything with that for you. So again, if there's anybody else that needs access, please go ahead and input that in the chat, and I'm happy to do that for you. So anybody have any good fleet story to share in the last 10 minutes? Anybody have a good shout out that you're proud of your people for doing? I know there was one at Cornell. Cornell was doing a major cleanup of some data after 2020, you know, and a few staffing changes. I know they had kind of fallen behind on a couple things, and they got some new staff, and they are ahead of their goal. They are cleaning up their data, and Cornell is knocking it out of the park. They're a great resource as well. I saw Cameron was getting on here a little bit ago. But I know there's a good shout out there. But anybody else have something good that's going on? Any anniversaries, or are you celebrating the 10,000th reservation in Agile and giving your customer a free rental? Exclusions apply. $200 max or anything like that? Okay, you guys are silent. You guys and gals are silent on me, but that's okay. So I'm going to give you 9 minutes back of your day. Thank you so very much for being a part of it today. Thanks for coming to Workshop Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you next month in March, and we're going to talk about kiosk management. So if you have any particular things you'd like me to address on kiosk management, reach out to me in the next couple weeks so I can, you know, really dig into that for you and make sure that I include that in my PowerPoint for the teaching of that next month. So I hope everyone has a wonderful month, and I look forward to seeing you all next month, if not before. And you're welcome. Thank you for attending. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Talk soon. Bye-bye.